Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife historian, and today we're talking the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Just like always, guys, we had another lawsuit hit, and it was Sun magazine that covered it, and we have to talk about it. Before we get into it, though, guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on. It's super important to keep your notifications on because when I bring my tea, I bring it right to YouTube, not to any other platforms. So it gives you an advantage of being up to speed on everything that's going on in the world of housewives. So let's get into this. First of all, the Sun posted this, I think yesterday, so I must have accidentally missed it from or it was posted yesterday and I didn't see it. It is basically alleging that Joe had an attorney that represented him in like a $6 million real estate deal, and the attorney is stating that he did not pay him for his services, so therefore he is now suing him. The paperwork is going to state that it was a $6 million real estate deal and that they did numerous, paperwork and filings for him, and that it resulted in almost $4,000 of fees. And then he's also has interest on top of it. So yeah, it it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's all the more reason that why wouldn't you just pay it? So let's get into this article. It's from the Sun, and it says Real Housewives of New Jersey husband Joe Gorga has been sued by his former lawyer for refusing to pay legal fees in a $6 million real estate deal. The U.S. Sun can exclusively reveal Joe's former lawyer Alan Tremblak, Trembluk, is suing him for $3,337.50 in unpaid legal fees plus interest and attorney fees. The complaint filed on June 26. Allen was hired by Joe in December of 2020 to represent him in a $6 million commercial real estate deal. The court papers allege during the period from December 8th through May 6th, the plaintiff performed legal services for the defendant. And in connection with those transactions, they rendered and itemized an invoice to the defendant for the amount of the $3,337.50. The lawsuit continued, but despite the plaintiff's demands, the defendant has failed and refused to pay any portion of the amount due. Payment has been demanded and has not been made. The services included teleconferences, televiewing, revising contracts, and other services. Allen is now requesting interest, attorney's fees, and costs of the suit. A summons was mailed to Joe, according to the court papers, but he has not responded to the lawsuit. They also add in the article more legal trouble. This is the latest lawsuit involving Joe, 48, at the U.S. Sun. Previously reported he was sued for $110,000. Melissa and their 3 children moved into their New Jersey mansion in November of 2020, and they purchased the plot for $950,000. So just $50,000 short of $1 million is what they purchased. Okay. So think about the fact that they purchased that for almost $1 million and they only owe their attorney $3,300 and they refuse to pay and they literally have to take them to court for it. A little bit crazy. Also, Radar Online reported earlier this month that Joe and Melissa were sued by a woman who was injured at their property they were responsible for managing. Melissa and Joe responded by denying the allegations of negligence and asking the lawsuit to be dismissed. So we have that. Plus, we also have the $110,000 concrete lawsuit that we know about, guys. I looked that company up. The company is, it only has 200 employees. Okay. They are a finance company that will finance your concrete. So you go online, you fill out the application, and they'll finance you to get your concrete. And so it looks like he probably got approved for about $110,000 and then he just didn't pay it. Right. So, it's probably discouraging to be owed $110,000 and see them living in $1 million home. Okay. Like that's another thing people don't understand. Like it doesn't sound like a lot of money, but let somebody owe you $3,300 for your work that you were expecting to pay bills with or do whatever. It doesn't matter. Like if you are living in $1 million home that you've renovated twice, you should not be having lawsuits for $3,300, for $110,000, for anything like that. That's incredibly a huge, huge, huge red flag. And it takes me back to the same thing that I said about Dorit Kemsley. Like, are these people getting rich by just not paying their any bill that they can get away with not paying, like anyone in their community that they can not pay for services, like a homemade health nurse, or like the concrete people, or the sprinkler people, or the deck furniture people, like the local people in their community that provide services to them, and they're able to screw them by not paying them, like the smaller companies. Is that how these people get rich? Is this normal transactions for people that are of a certain tax bracket or a certain wealth status? I'm just wondering, like, is this how people get rich? They just stop paying like the average things? Like they pay for their hair and makeup, and they pay for the Porsche in the driveway until it allegedly gets repoed, and then they go pay for it again and bring it back. So it's like, you got to understand that people are going to be spiteful if you owe them money for services and you go home to $1 million home and you don't render any payment to them. This guy is saying, you owe me $3,300, but you won't make any payment. You're not even trying, attempting to make it right. Like, I'm having to sue you. So that's got to be frustrating, guys. For anyone that is owed money that you worked hard for. I try to always break it down to you guys, like, just like with the homemade health nurse, like this woman, it was 6 weeks before Christmas. She got a gig with Dorit Kemsley, taking care of her, being her med nurse for 4 days. Like, she's like, okay, I'm about to be good for Christmas. Like, I'm going to work these 4 days. It'll take me 3 days to recover, but it's going to be worth it. And then doesn't get paid. A whole year later, she's taking her to court to get paid for $8,000, when that's like, Dorit has like $8,000 like hanging, like a purse hanging in her closet. Like, it's asinine. It's unacceptable. And it's like, Bravo needs to tell these people to clean their acts up. If you want to be a Bravo celebrity and you want us to believe that you have, like, maybe they want these people that are like struggling. I almost feel like Bravo wants people that are like aspiring to have money and that are pretending, so that these little things like this happen, and then the press and the bloggers and everyone picks up on it, and they start to speculate on it, and then it gives press and attention to them. I mean, it's a possible theory because there's really no other explanation for it, but it's really sad if it's like the small people, like the nanny and the cleaning lady and those sort of and the homemade health nurse, and those people get screwed along the way. But maybe that is Bravo's plan to get people talking. I'm not sure. um Yes, so that was the Radar Online article. And then I also read another article that I posted on my Instagram. I'm just going to read it to you guys very quickly. It's from before Melissa was actually on The Real Housewives. If you guys know my channel, then you know that I love old things. I love good bones, if you will. And so she did this little interview, I think, before she went on The Housewives, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm not going to share my screen. I did in my live, but it messes up my audio. So I'm just going to read it to you. Again, you can see it on my Instagram, the Housewife Historian. It says basically, from Bayonne to a resident to one of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Melissa Gorga. Yeah, Melissa Gorga. 32, has joined the hit reality TV series for season 3. She is in full act already because she's already part of the family, and her husband Joe is brother Real Housewives star Teresa Judas. A Toms River native, Gorga moved to Bayonne in 2001. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct. And landed a job as a tanning consultant at a tropical tanning located on Broadway. And she was studying to be a teacher in New Jersey College. And Gorga describes herself as a bubbly Italian girl who rented an apartment with girlfriends on 31st Street before graduating with a bachelor's degree. It says she is a stay-at-home mom in Montville, and she's pursuing her singing career. I think I missed the part where she called herself a Renaissance woman. I'll go back to that because that's the best part. And then she said, I had so much fun in Bayonne with my friends during the years. There were so many fun things to do, and it was just a few minutes from New York City. There were 2 things I always wanted to do, and that was teaching and singing. She said, right now I can't have my own classroom, but I'm aspiring to be an R&B artist and raising my 3 children, Antonia, Gino, and Joey. Okay. Let me find the Renaissance part because that's the best part. Oh, here we go. It opened up with it. She's from Bayonne. It says, from Bayonne to one of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, Melissa Gorga, a real Renaissance woman, has worked her way to stardom. That's what made me laugh. I think that's kind of funny. Did she work her way to stardom? Because, like, the next paragraph down, it's like, oh, actually, she's already part of the family because her sister's on the show. Crazy. Can't believe it. She worked her way to the show, but there's her family on the show too. What a cool winky dink. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, turn your notifications on, and have a great one.